That's when David Banner used to swing from the little rail and blow fire in his mouth, and used to have a van to come up to the Players Club.
Welcome to a mini-series podcast that I call The Beat. My guest today is owner of Black Quality Entertainment, creator of Mu Beta Phi. He's an event planner. He's a party promoter. Frankly, one of the best in the game. He's brought people like Manny Fresh to the city. He's a legend in the city and an icon in my book. Welcome to the show, Freeman Walker Jr. What's happening?
Thank you for that. Good to be here.
Man. All right, let's get to it. So, I started doing radio probably 02, 03. I knew absolutely nothing about it, man. So I know that you were there way before I was. You know, you didn't work there, but you were affiliated with it. When did you get started in party promoting, and when did you get in touch with the station? How did you get affiliated with the station?
Well, believe it or not, I got into party promoting by a history teacher at Meridian High named Mr. Richard. Yeah, wow. Mr. Richard. Mm-hmm. And he gave me Demetrius Funches and the twins and Dwayne Dubose. We formed a club called the Players Club. That's how the Players Club.
I remember that. Okay. Oh wow, I'm getting the history now. Okay.
Yeah, the Players Club was actually founded on Easter Sunday, to believe it or not. And and Mr. Richard was like, y'all want to party? Y'all don't know partying. And he was like, I got a building, and it's called the KFC Hall, right there on 19.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, this is what he said now. If you
this
all
is before the station, right?
Yeah, this is right going into the station. And he was like, if you move these tables, I'll give you the building for $25. So that's how we got started really into the party promotion. Now check this out. Now, like 2 or 3 months later, the first person at 105.7, it was this new hip hop station. Yeah. And I'll never forget, we was in a mall and everybody was talking about it. And
you know what year this was?
Man, it was like 2, 3 years, right? It was like right before you got there, a couple of years before you got there. But the first person that was there was Casual. Because Casual was coming from Louisiana.
Okay. Yeah.
Mississippi. And that Casual was the first person we met, man. And we went up to the station. I was trying to figure out how I was going to actually boost, get the party out and everything else. Yeah. And honestly, Casual was like, man, give me something to read. I'll read it over the drops or whatever. I need something in it. Just give it to me. Y'all throw it in there. And then next thing you know, it was just that effect. Like these kids don't understand this. Like back in our day, oh my God, we had Atlanta, Houston, New Orleans. Right. We had people coming to us. Right. Literally, like they were coming to us. It was just amazing. Yeah, it was crazy.
You start the Players Club, you meet Casual. Who was the next come in to the station?
Mr. C.
Mr. C was next. Wow, you remember the first time you met him?
Man, Mr. C came in, what's up, Cooley? Hey, yo. He just wanted to know where the shoe ball at. That was the first one.
Really?
Where the shoe ball, the shoe ball at, and what y'all do to kind of party and how you do it and everything. He wanted to really just know. Yeah. And Mr. C really was the first DJ truly out the station that was like amongst the people, just out there, whatever. That's when me and Demetrius, we went to school. We left with the school, but the Terrell and the twins, they actually took the Players Club from us throwing parties to actually having a club. We was literally like the youngest /promoter/ club owners. Now, this is the thing.
Is Demetrius D. Weezy?
No, Demetrius Funches. A lot of people know Demetrius Funches because he played basketball and everything. So he was just that cool cat. Just everybody he just part of Sigma Beta Club, everything else. So D Weezy was Dubose, you know what I'm saying? Dwayne Dubose and all that. Yeah. So they formed the actual site, location, player club,
yeah.
and it was crazy. Now the thing was, in Meridian back in the day, it was like if you weren't 21, you couldn't drink in a spot.
Right.
So I found out how to get past that. Now, of course, when I got older, I regret it.
Oh, that's the past.
That's how that BYOB effect came around the whole city.
Yeah.
You know, but we didn't realize we had to grow up. But that BYOB effect happened, and it was like everybody was out.
That's
and Mr.
crazy,
C was
dude.
DJing, Casual was on a mic, and it was just like that era. Like 105.7 was like the joint, and they gave an opportunity to like local artists, man. Like some real true like artists, because a lot of people don't know outside the camp. Baby Ray, see, people don't see Baby Ray, and then they had super producers then, and then Crit, then Coco, you know what I mean? And then, man, then the flavor of East End Productions, man, like, bro, they just
about homegrown production. Remember them, Tony?
Yeah, homegrown production and all that. Yeah, man, that's when all that was like banging. And a lot of people don't know what you listening to right now. That's that music that came up from then to now. You know what I mean?
That's how I met them. D-Hug, we was sitting at church. We used to work the booth at the church. And he came up to me and said, they're having a talent show at the radio station. You should get in it. I bet. So I go meet Casual and Mr. C. Say, hey, I'm trying to get in this talent show. But D-Hug told me that they was trying to get him a job up there, but he ain't want it. So I was like, I'm going to try to take it. So when I met him for the talent show, I said, hey, I heard y'all hiring, can I get on? Check back in a couple of months and see what's going on. So I check back, do the talent show. A couple months pass by, Big Grip leave. I go up there, do an air check. Casual was like, nah, that's whack. Go home, practice. Go home, practice, come back. I came back and lit it up, man. The rest is history. I said, dude.
Man, I tell you, man, like Big Grip, he was there for a short period of time, but the knowledge that brother had, like the knowledge he had was just unreal. And we always was like, man, this cat need to be no limit. He reminded you of Mystical or somebody, like whatever, because he also rapped and everything too. But they was always bringing in like these talents from and just all these connections. I'm gonna tell you something that was crazy. Let me tell you how this was a signature. Like Big Rip used to be like, Big Crip in your radio. And then when you came in, it was like, Tez, he did it. You know what I mean? Right now to this day, that Tez, he did it. I'm talking about that sent shockwaves. We know who they talking about. That stamp was there. So both of y'all really, 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 truly did y'all thing, man. Like for real, for real.
I go to Meridian, somebody, at least one person gonna say that to me.
Yeah, Tez, he did it.
But he did it. All right, so you get there. Y'all got the Players Club. That's when I came around. It was the Players Club first. So you get there, you at the station, and it was you, Mr. C, Casual. When did Hot Sauce get there?
So Hot Sauce came in a little bit after.
Okay.
And Hot Sauce made his mark. Actually, he made his mark because we was doing that's when we started doing college nights.
Yeah.
All right, so I hooked up a deal with a techno club. It was called a Midnight Sun.
I remember.
And so I started doing college nights. And when I started doing college nights, they had this cat called Hot Sauce. And I'm like, man, we're gonna get him to spin. And when he spent that Thursday, Hot Sauce did some things, and we was like, yo!
He had turntables
really
now.
DJ.
Yeah, with turntables. We had CDJs. This guy had the real deal.
He wasn't playing. So everybody was on Hot Sauce. I mean, you had all the schools coming out. It was so big. Our college nights were so big and so crazy. You had to get there, the club opened at 11:30, 12. People was in line at 9 o'clock to get in. They wasn't chilling or whatever to get in. You know what I mean? That's how beautiful it was. It was like this support like no other. We talking about the country, other cities, everything. That's how Meridian was,
EMCC, ECC, everybody came out, man.
Yeah, Jones, it was, oh man, it was dope, man. That was a beautiful time, man.
One of the best times, man. So y'all packed out the Players Club. I remember when I got there, that was I was so scared to DJ. You know, Mr. C was like, bruh, at some point, you know, you're gonna have to step it up. So he gassed me up. And then I started hearing people say, I think it was you, D-Hug. Somebody else was like, it's an open market now. So that just motivated me like, yeah, I gotta try to do my thing now. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just challenged me to do my thing.
Man, you was Meridian own, you know, like we had somebody in there because, you know, they was from Louisiana and we finally had somebody that was our own that was in there supporting. Like you came in and you did your thing and you really left this mark, like from middle school all the way up. It's like, yo, like Tez is the man.
Right, I contribute that for the team party, dog, because that wasn't my lane. But he said, dog, we can get money with these teams. So we pack it out with the JC building, was it?
Yeah, the JC building, man. Shout out.
Wessler.
The Wessler, and the Wessler, the JC building. Shout out to Mr. LaBiche because this is what people don't know. Like Mr.
Boys and Girls Club, I remember that.
Yeah, Boys and Girls Club, Mr. Hood over there, Mr. LaBiche, you know, the Wessler. They gave us an outlet, especially with these teams. They gave us an outlet, you know. And shout out to everybody that has ever been through the line of Mu Beta Phi and Mu Beta Psi.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
That is true. So, what's your memories of D-Hug at the station?
So with D-Hug,
affiliated with the station, dog. He talk about y'all all the time.
Man, I tell you, me and D-Hug was like best friends, and we was business partners, but we was best friends. Like we would literally sit at the airport, jive and strategize of how we do things, and then he would go to Mr. C or whatever, and they were like brothers. Like they were like 10 brothers. Yeah. And that right there, man.
Told me,
yeah, like D-Hug was like on that party scene of just scoping out different areas. And he was like, yo, we need to go to Alabama. Yo, we need to do this. And he had that little crazy laugh and everything else. And, you know, especially with the church and everything, with him being a drummer and Ronnie and Will, Miles and all them being a drummer and everything, everything was like really connected. So D was that person to make sure everything was connected to make it make sense. You know what I mean?
Right. What happened to the Players Club?
So after a while, people grow up. So, of course, with the twins overall, you know, and this is something that everybody don't know. The twins been wanting to be detectives. They've been wanting to be police since like they was back. They came from Philly, then came to Meridian. Right. But even then, their dreams was always to be in the forces when it comes to, you know, serving the public in that way. And that's something I did always look up to them because they always wanted to and they actually did. You know, shout out to them, like for real. So they went that other route. So after they did so, then that's how you, Mr. C, you actually put that stamp on it to create that next step.
Next wave,
you know, to go in. So that's pretty much what happened with the Players Club. It was just it ran its course. It ran its time. Yeah.
Now, they actually one of them actually kept me from going to jail one time. I was living at Oak Manor, and the washing machines out there didn't work. So I went across the street to the other apartment complex. So I'm over there washing my clothes, and the police come in there like, hey, no, some lady come in and say, what's your room number? What's your apartment number? I said, well, ma'am, I live across the street. It don't work. So I'm over here trying to wash my clothes. Didn't want to lie. Next thing you know, she leave, come back, police show up. White guy. He said, you got 20 seconds to get your clothes out the dryer. I said, man, you can't get your clothes out the dryer in 20 seconds. He got mad, put your hand behind your back. He take me outside. One of the twins pull up. He said, Tez? I said, bro, yeah. He said, oh, man, he cool, man. Let him go, man.
Yeah.
Try to get you, boy, man.
Yeah, man. And that was the things they used to do, man. They used to really watch out for the community like that, man. And I love that about us because the fact that we started having, you know, our classmates start doing some things in the community. Like we started building in the forces and lawyers, like, you know, so in all kind of things in the political aspect. So that was one thing I did love about Meridian, where the people did stay and we watched out for each other on those classes.
Right. So we went from Players Club to the End Zone. Where Sip come from? Where did he just came out of nowhere?
All right, so that would go down in history. So Sip actually came from the Sportsman. All right.
Okay.
So the Sportsman was legendary. You couldn't get in the Sportsman. So Silk, I went one night and Silk and Greg, which is Doc's son, Greg, they said, we're gonna let you do a Thanksgiving party here. And man, I miss him to this day. Man, Ern came in, did the party with me with Leo. I mean, and when Ern came in, Lord rest his soul, we did this huge Thanksgiving party. My sister took the money at the door. Yeah. You know, D-Hug was there, and he was like, man, I think we could do something else with this, man. And Sip was there, and he just loved the whole atmosphere. But the energy, sportsman club was a prestigious club for lawyers, doctors, everybody else. So it wasn't like for the youngins. So that's when, before it was the End Zone, it was Nate's place. Yep. You remember? So I do. Nate's kind of moved out. When Nate's moved out, Sip took over, and then that's how the End Zone formed. And see, let me tell you about this. When it was Nate's place, that's when you had nobody heard of these rappers before, right? That's when you had Chopper. We used to bring in Chopper. Chopper used to come in. Pastor Troy. You had Maceo, Atlanta. You had Paul Wall, Chameleon now, Mike Jones. This is when Houston was big. And see, we got to give these brothers props for this. That's when East End Production and all them, they was hanging in Houston like that. Right. And they was like that screwed, chopped music and everything like that. Yeah. Like they was coming in. And Houston fell in love with Meridian. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mike Jones, man. So you had another part of Atlanta, and they was like, yo, we got some underground artists up here free. We need to bring down here. Right. So we started having connections, and that's how that era started really, really blowing up, where people was like, man, these cats down here making all kind of money. Like they bringing in artists, everything. And that was for other promoters that was starting to be promoters inside of Meridian. Right. It was just love. Like it was no beef at the time like that. When that promoter beef was unheard of, because everybody was doing their thing and doing it and supporting each other, you know? So that was a beautiful thing. That's how it changed over to the End Zone.
A lot of people came through there, but Lil Flip came. He never rapped though. Right. He got to the stage and somebody dropped the table or something. He thought it was gunshots.
And let me tell you this, just to back up, when David Banner, twins of them, that's when David Banner used to swing from the little rail and blow fire in his mouth, and used to have a van to come up to the Players Club. Yeah. See, man, you wouldn't believe like how much history Meridian had inside of them to support and promote like those stars of today. Right.
See, I got there when he was pushing like a pimp. I'm just excited, man. It's like reliving these moments and actually talking to people who have more experience than I have. Yeah, man. It's just super amazing, man. Nate's plays, then it went to End Zone and
50-50. Yeah, it was,
Right. I got kicked out of all those places. You know that? I got kicked out of every building in Meridian. Yeah, man. I went to my last resort with the skating ring. Dude say, nah, man, I heard about your kind. We can't even do that over here. Yeah. So that's when my descent started. I'm like, I got to figure something out, because ain't no money in radio. I gotta get another job or something. So I got a second job. Then the station hit me with an ultimatum. They said, hey, you're supposed to be doing street team 3 to 5, 3 to 6. Right. There's no money in this. I can't get the clubs no more. I'm gonna have to quit. But man, my peak was a party I threw. And we both grown. We can talk about this. You tried to get me fired. This episode is brought to you by Creative Teens. So for all your personalized items and event decor, shop Creative Teens. Follow their Facebook business page as well as their Instagram, Creative Teens with a K. Get everything you need personalized by Creative Teens. Get creative.
Man, listen.
Every year, me and C talk about this. I said that nigga brought the log in there, dog. He brought the whole log to the beat.
Man, listen. Let me tell you something, man. That right there, and believe it or not, we was young,
Yeah, absolutely.
But at our stage and everything, man, we all did some dumb stuff, right? I'm talking about some dumb.
I know I did.
Listen, to this day, man, we are grown, and it's 3 or 4 things that I hate I ever did promotion-wise when it came to stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of those things was pulling a log because you still had a 401k, you still had a 9 to 5. Yeah. I threw parties and I worked at AT&T. And I was good. Yeah. And when you younger, you don't realize by pulling the logs, and if people don't understand what pulling the logs is, what I used to do, I was doing some smart stuff. I was like, I know when my stuff played. Yeah. Because what I was doing was Tam and all them in traffic. I used to buy them lunch to make sure that they put I used to make sure that they put where I needed it, and then I used to get a printout. And the thing was, when it was pulled and everything else, what I didn't know is when things get behind, or let's just say it's something important to come on, it backs up everything. It's stuff like that I didn't know. I come in, I'm spending my money, and I was consistent. That was one thing Mr. Holiday, Clay, and them knew. I was consistent when I was just coming in and do whatever. But at the same time, as brothers, and we both was in a game like that, it was like we all had like this ego. Like Meridian,
I know I did. I got it from Cito.
It was just too. It wasn't big enough for all of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So I apologize.
Now we laugh about that every year, though. It's hilarious, though. But dude, this was like one of the best experiences ever because it allowed me to grow. You know what I'm saying? And become a man. I learned so much from it. I learned so much from y'all. That you was like the ultimate hustler, dude. Like Freeman Walker Jr. This dude was gonna hustle. He gonna figure out how to get it. He gonna be out there promoting himself. Like you, not only did you put it together, you out there promoting on your own. With the flyers, you hitting the streets, you on ground level. You got the kids out there, pushing it too. Now you just out there doing your thing, man. So I had to learn from that. I said, okay, how would Freeman do this? How would Freeman promote this?
Of course. But the thing was, man, honestly, that let me know and signified, it's time to venture out. It's time to go in other areas and everything else. And believe it or not, even though to me I thought it was negative, but it turned into positive because that was around the time that I went to Jackson and I started moving to find Jackson. Right. When I started moving to find Jackson, it just took off to a whole nother level with them kids over there because we had the high schools on lock. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, Mu Beta had the high school man on lock. And then when they came to Meridian, it was just even more. And then y'all still had Meridian like that. So it was like we all could breathe and y'all doing stuff. I mean, it was just love, So everything started building from there.
Give me a Mr. C story, man.
Man, Mr. C, to be honest with you, man, like, I'll never forget this, man. This is Mr. C and Carol. Man, I'll never forget, we was practicing in a park one day. Yeah. And Mr. C said, hey, man, what you doing tomorrow? I said, I'm free. He was like, ride with me. And I still got these pictures to this day, man. Banner came down. At the time, it was like a standardized testing, man, that was going on all across. And we literally went to each school from Newton County, Meridian, and Quitman. Yeah. And we were all together. And he was talking to the kids, about standardized tests and how important everything else. And to be a part of that, of somebody young like that, somebody get embraced like that, and say, yo, Free, come on with us. And this is what we're doing. And Banner said, yeah, man, I know you, what's going on? Yeah. And just that embracement of like that, it was just cool because, before, honestly, man, from casual to C to you to grip, I'm telling you, man, like, it need to be stories like documentaries, like how people broke through. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on a movie.
Okay, cool. Cause that's the real story. You know what I'm saying? Even with DJ Jelly and DJ Monte, them CDs didn't get hot until Terrell used to go up to Atlanta and get those CDs and then come back to Meridian. And we used to play them joints before y'all got there. And that's how they got hot. And that's how we picked up the artists, but you never hear that, man. I just wish, you heard about the promoters, the DJs that you never heard of that really made hip hop like the real way it was. You know what I'm saying? To make your stuff take off from BDS is because of what they did here to take off. You know, so yeah, man, that was some man.
No, Meridian became the hot spot for local artists and regional artists, man. Like you said, from Texas to Atlanta, they would come through. It was amazing, dog. Let me give you a Maceo story. I had him at the Westler building, right? And I had Crit opening up for him. He come in there, Crit do his thing. Maceo come in there, do his thing. I hired 3 securities to do one job. I ain't gonna say their name because you know who they are. I hired 3 security to do one job. Watch over these teenagers, right? At the end of the night, I'm wrapping up my chords. Somebody running into the building, covering their face like. This when me and Valente was, working together. Covering their face, just screaming. I'm like, what happened? Did somebody punch him in the face? He said, nah, the other security guard maced him in the face, trying to hit a kid. I said, well, we got the 3 stooges out here. What's going on, dude? And one of them got picked up by a teen and slammed on the ground. I'm like, bro. Man,
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna be honest. I never forget when I was hustling like that, man. I know you used to see Big Saint in Crit outside radio station. And I never forget, man. That's what I told. I said, Crit, move. I said, man, move. I said, move. I said, Crit, move. You can always come back home. I said, you can always come back home. And that's because I had a taste of Memphis. I went to Memphis. And a cat on Airways gave me a chance in the club and it jumped. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, move. Because my favorite, man, I'm telling you, man, when they came to mixtapes, Adidas ones,
man, jump.
Oh my God. I was like, move, man.
The club on fire every time.
Man, for real, man. And that's one of the 3, I'm not gonna lie, that I regret. That I never forget. Big Saint called me from Atlanta. He's like, man, we doing some things. I said, send me the product.
Yeah.
Send me the product. Just send me the product. And he was like, man, I was like, look, I'm promoting, I'm doing street teams and everything. Just send me the product, man. Send me the product. And they were so humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, They wanted to be able, and that's what I love about them, man. I'm gonna be real, like they ain't have it. It still my heart to steady just pump it out, steady just pump it out. Just like Twisted Genius, I was telling people about Twisted Genius 2 years ago.
Really?
Them cats out of Birmingham, Atlanta, everywhere else. I've been telling people, and then the cats now they be like, yo, Free told us about this too. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I told you. Just like Carlo, you know what I'm saying? Low Star, oh my God.
Man, them boys been on it for like ever, dog.
Man, exactly. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people don't know they had a studio downtown in one of them towers.
Sure did. I know. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I've been to it.
So, with Mike, all them, like they had this vision, man, like it was unbelievable. And then on top of that, man, let me tell you, man, like real talk, before it was quality control and everything else, man, them boys, like them crews from Birmingham, all the way from Atlanta, those little pieces of crews and everything used to come to the station. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden now you start seeing what they work and put into to be what they are now. Like
their labor,
yeah, it was beautiful, man.
Like Quack and them, they was like the quality control of Meridian. And all the different artists in Meridian, you know what I'm saying? I go to the studio, like 6-7 guys in there trying to record. Then they moved to Atlanta somewhere, and they just kept building, dog. It's just phenomenal to watch, man.
I'm telling you, man. That's why I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you something, man. And Quack can tell you this. Like when Quack was with me, I said, well, this is what I do. Cause I was promoting. A lot of folks don't know. Like Fubu picked me up, and I was pushing a group called 54 Platoon out of New Orleans, but they got signed by Fubu. And I had Quack with me. I'm like, man, this is what I do, and you can help me, and I, throw you something. We went down there. It's called the George Bush on Highway 90, Club Illusions. I'll never forget. We're out there street team and everything else. Man, it's like Quack put up like this bulb, and he just started expanding and taking off in his vision because he always knew music, and Low got out. It was always about the music, man. Like always. Like and then before that, he was a ball player too. But see, a lot of folks didn't know that. Yeah, man, what? Cold on the court. Cold, man.
That's crazy, dog.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, he was always about the music, man. And now, like, you see it. Like, you see it. That's why I'm so proud of them boys, man. Just like,
you know, he a mastermind because he didn't really rap. Like you said, he just had the bulb went off and he like, my city can do this. You know what I'm saying? I know some guys in my city who can do this. Let's put it together.
Yeah, dope, man. Guys. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, even when, I mean, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, a lot of folks don't know when he talk about Paul Wall, Flip, anybody else, comedian or whatever. See, that was when Quack, Low, and all them, they was in promotion like that. They started to understand, they started to get it, and they started doing it. And that's how they just took off. So it was like a beautiful thing, you know?
Right. Now, tell me about the McIntosh Farm. What memories do you got about the McIntosh Farm?
Man.
That place is crazy. That like the baby Freaknik out there, wasn't it?
Man, so McIntosh, we hung out at McIntosh because of the blues and everything else. But our spot was Club Alamis.
Okay.
So
that's Alabama, right?
Right there, Alabama, Mississippi line, right? I remember
that.
We threw the very first East Mississippi, West Alabama Freaknik. That's when Jigga JT really came in.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know why I thought that was before him. Okay.
That's when Jigga JT came in, and that's when we threw the baby Freaknik, I kid you not, that's when MySpace was real hot.
Yeah.
All right, now that's when like Jigga came in, Calger was there, we had Baby Bruce, Huggy Bear from the Alabama side. We was dealing with Birmingham J, all that crew out of Birmingham.
I remember Birmingham J.
You know what I'm saying? Then we had them cats out of Atlanta come down. Then we were dealing with Montgomery because some local rappers from the Rose out there. Then we had folks all the way down from New Orleans. And man, everybody just collided. Man, it was like 5,000 folks out there. And get this, there's no lie. Think I'm lying. Out of all those promoters, because normally you weren't supposed to deal with number three-way splits.
Right.
Man, we made like 10 racks a piece.
Oh my God. I miss those days,
and that was just
boy.
that night after
Man, I miss those
everybody.
days, boy. Coming to the crib, throwing a duffel bag full of money on the floor.
Yeah.
I was stupid with my money. I blew it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Man, part of my money, honestly, a lot of people don't know this either. Part of my money in the first beginning of what I was doing, like before the Move 85 and the kids and everything else, I was paying for school cash. Well, I was down at USM because I played ball and I transferred from East Mississippi, Last Chance U, and then went to USM, but I was paying my own tuition. I was throwing parties and paying for my own.
Investing in yourself,
Yeah, people didn't know that. Like, I'm debt free for student loans and everything. I left after my like third year, but I was paying for all that myself.
What you got going on now?
So right now, of course, through all of that, you know, you grow up, right?
Yeah.
And after you grow up, I found my niche. My niche was marketing. My niche was algorithms. My niche was digital marketing. My niche was building companies and helping people build and everything else.
Right.
So I'm in corporate America now. Been in corporate America for years. And a lot of people kind of thought I fell off or stopped doing parties or whatever, because that's what they still remember.
I seen you in Africa. I knew you ain't fall off.
So they were like, the dude that do phone parties and everything else. Well, what people don't know is I'm a senior business development manager. What I do is I actually curate and I assist philanthropists, you know, all kind of stuff, in building wealth around communities and everything. So if it's hotels, you know, buy hotels, develop them. If it's business opportunities, doing that as well, you know, and just kind of, and I do that for a 9 to 5. That's my career, what I do. And then of course, you know, I'm heavily into ways to create generational wealth. You know, if I tell anybody, if you're not in the stock market right now, you need to get into it. Like if you're not in Bitcoin, you need to get into it. If you don't have a Roth IRA, get with your local bank, set up you a Roth IRA. You know what I mean? That's the best thing to do. And for my younger people, I tell them at 21, start putting like $28 to $30 a week in that account, and don't touch it until you're 40. You will thank me later. You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of things that I got into. Of course, I worked for Samsung forever. I worked for Samsung, and I covered the state of Mississippi for Samsung for like 7 years. And they allowed me to grow because, you know, on the brand ambassador side and on entertainment and everything else, they allowed me to do some things. Yeah. And that's where it is now. You know, my thing is growth, building our wealth, educating our young people, and building from there, you know? Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I talked to a guy at work today about Bitcoin, so he's supposed to send me some apps and whatever and try to get into that. That's what's up, Don.
Yeah, man. Check out Coinbase. Yeah, definitely go to Coinbase, and people, you know, they think Bitcoin is just Bitcoin, but it's check out cryptocurrency, understand the blockchain. You know, when you understand the blockchain, you'll understand how your money grows. Like I tell anybody, the blockchain and Bitcoin work in fractions. Yeah. You can throw $100 in there, and tomorrow it'll be $400 because it works in fractions. Yeah. And that's how it is. You know, and then when it comes to the market, Bitcoin. You want to check out Bitcoin. Right now, the hottest coins right now, if you're looking at cryptocurrency, the hottest coins right now, of course, Bitcoin, and then you have Ripple, and then from Ripple you have Ethereum. So you want to, and all those on a Coinbase basis, and those people got to understand. That's where we're headed. When they tell you it's a coin shortage inside stores and stuff, you got to understand the government. It's not a coin shortage at all. You just about to transfer into a crypto world. Yeah. You know, and Africa been on a crypto system. You know, when you hear about Acorn going to be nothing but crypto and he's building over there, he's right. Yeah, he's building. Right now is our time. Right now is our time to invest in ourselves. Right now is our time to invest in our brothers and sisters. Right. And that's how it is now. So building and evolving is where I am. You know what I mean? Right. That's just how it is for me now.
Man, it's good to see your growth, man. You've grown, you mature, man. Sound like you're doing big things. I appreciate you stopping by, chatting with me, you know, catching up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, always, man.
Thank you for
having me.
I'm looking forward to the reunion where we can get everybody on here, man. Mr. C, Casual, Jenny James, Big Grib. Hopefully I can get Hot Sauce on here.
And before we leave, man, I definitely want to tell you, like the time, like with Trina. Trina was like our biggest.
I remember that.
That was the biggest thing we ever did. Like Trina, and I don't think a concert ever did this in Meridian. With Trina, we worked with her manager, and we should have brought Trina, but we did. Right. We allowed SIP to get paid for the deal. Yeah. But $108,000 came through the door.
Really?
Yes. Because how we work the system.
I don't even remember that. I don't think I was involved in that. Was I involved in that? I thought that was Seaman.
You had left. All right, so let me tell you. With Trina, Dennis died that week, like right there that weekend before. Like right up in there. Because when Dennis passed, we were promoting the Trina show. Like that was the show. Wow. Yeah, that was the show. And when he passed, like before we was getting ready, like he hugged me and he was drunk. He was like, "Man, I love you, man." I'm like, "Man, get off me, man." Like, "Nah, man." He was like, "Nah, man, I really love you." And I never forget. Like everybody else went to the Waffle House. I said, "No, I'm gonna go home and lay it down." He said, "Man, I'm gonna go fix me something." He said, "I don't want Waffle House. Fix me." And then, you know, the next day, like the morning, Angelique Jeffries called me. Like to this day, man, it's crazy. It's just. You know,
I told Daniel, I said, for some reason, like Dennis called the station, he just started talking to me about Daniel. I said, dude, why does the dude keep talking to me about his brother? He told me what type of person he is, you know, how motivated he is, you know, how he's self-disciplined and type of things that he need. I didn't understand. So after he passed and I sat down with Daniel, we talked about it, we cried about it. I said, I guess I'm just supposed to look after you. I don't know. Yeah. I've been kind of looking after for a distance, man. Then he moved up here. We kept in touch, and we still keep in touch. And every year we always talk about, we end up talking, me and Mr. C, we always end up talking about you. We always end up talking about Dennis.
And like, bruh, it's the friend you always wanted to have.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't even know. Like Dennis and Jane Ellis was literally, I will say this, they came up with the idea and the first to ever have an all-white party in Meridian, Mississippi. It was at the council. They brought that up. And that's how all that started with those color parties, because of Jane Ellis and Dennis Huggins. Wow. Yeah, man.
So our last party that we did, I want to say you, me, and Mr. C that did a party? I think I was here, and C was in Louisiana. We met in Meridian, and I think we lost real bad.
Yeah, man.
And I think me and C, we met up, but we cried. We literally cried. And I was like, bruh, he said, man, I got to go home to my family. I said, well, bruh, I ain't got no family. You take this couple dollars we got, you take it to your wife. He said, I'm gonna go home and tell my wife I lost everything. So it was crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
man. And that was the thing, man. Like, when it came to them parties, man, it was like, I knew what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, but I thought flipping my money was the key.
Right.
And I didn't understand, like, leverage. I didn't understand the key word of leverage and build on leverage. But when you lose something like that and go to like your lowest at points and everything, you start understanding the financial world. Right. Once you start understanding the financial world, you eventually get it. So by me doing that, the businesses that I'm a part of and the businesses that I'm doing now is because of those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, I thank God for that. But I never want a younger person to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, you know, put all your stuff on a spreadsheet. Make sure, you know, it doesn't make sense on paper before you even try to go out here to do it, because that excitement will get you and hit you and be like, man, I
quick.
That
fast money got me quick. I wish I would have parlayed it into at least my own club or something. I kept saying, you know what, the money will come next week. I could blow this. I get it next week. Then it start going downhill.
Yeah, start going downhill and everything. So, and then you realize as you got older, the money was never at the door. The money was always in liquor. Like, you should have listened to the old man. You know what I mean? Because the old man will tell you, money is in the liquor. It's not in the door. Yeah. And when you have liquors, when you have 200 to 300 people in a spot in the club now, and you look at that bar, that bar is gonna make, if you're charging $7 and an average person drink 3 to 5 times, that bar is gonna make anywhere from 13 to 15 grand.
That's what Sip was killing us there, boy. That's why Sip didn't mind splitting the dough with us. He was like, you know, go ahead, I'll split the dough, but you ain't getting this bar. He would never let us touch the bar.
Exactly. And what we should have been doing, you see what I'm saying? And what we should have been doing was doing a bar door split where we get the bar, we get the door, but you keep your bar and that's it. You know, and those are things I learned even going into restaurants and doing mixers and networking parties. Now same concepts, but now guess what? You making those deals with the actual chef. Let us get the door. You bring out your entrees and everything else. You get the popularity and everything else. We're charging to come in, and then you getting food and beverage. You know, and those are the things you start realizing. It was like, wow. And now, being adults, you charge more, and then you realize I don't even have to charge. Let me go get some sponsors.
Right.
You coming in now? You got sponsors. You opening the door at 40, 50,000. Because the sponsors thing, you know, it was just so much you start learning about the corporate world and how business work and how networking and building really truly works. So I really thank God for the times that we had to really get us there being older, because we know how to get it now. Yeah. Right.
Let me ask you this, one last thing. So me and C, we often talk about doing a party in Meridian. Do you think it would pop? If we did like the people that are our age that were there when we were there, do you think it'll pop?
In Meridian?
Yeah. And we just say, you know what, let's meet in Meridian and see if we can throw something and see if the people that used to come out, would they come out now as adults?
As adults, right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It ain't
the same.
Man, listen, Meridian is not the same Meridian as where we grew up.
Right.
Like,
I already know,
It's just a whole nother beast. However, I wouldn't necessarily, if it's us, it wouldn't be a party, it would be a mixer. It would be a mixer to network, to do things. Because and let me tell you why. Because believe it or not, us man, you got people doing they thing in a business world. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Said Dubos.
Yeah.
When we was doing mixers on Thursdays, we're doing them at the museum, right? And Said would start baking. I said, "No, man, bring your stuff down and get these cakes out, man. You make the best cakes. Like, come on, bring them down." All of a sudden now you see Said and he takes off. You know, beautiful things like that is like what Meridian needs now, where you can charge $20 to $30 open bar. We can do that now.
Right.
And that's something that will pop.
Right. Now,
that's how we'll have to actually do it, of a homecoming and bringing your business in and having this kind of expose kind of ordeal that way, instead of doing like how we used to get down, because it ain't. Trust me,
work that way. Yeah.
Oh my God, you don't even want that.
I'm proud of how the city has grown, though, man. Like I said, I've seen day parties out there. You know what I'm saying? I've seen black and white parties, all black and red. I'm proud of how they evolved the city, man.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. Now, if it was a party out there, I will say this, and it wouldn't be because of us or whatever, but it'll be part of us. Yeah. Like cats like Mario Scott,
right?
Terrence, you know what I'm saying? Mario Scott, you know, T and all them. Like that's that flavor now. Like us now. Yeah. That's that flavor now, and all them, like they got that. You know, they support that, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing with them. And it just passed on and passed in time. Yeah. So connecting with them and doing it, oh man, it'll be the bomb.
Cause I've been watching, man. They doing their thing, man. I'm real proud of the city, man.
Yeah. So that's what, if it was to happen, I would highly connect and it would be them to do it with, to take it to that next level, because they do their thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They really do their thing, you know. Really,
I think the city be happy to see us, man. I'm gonna see if I can get Mr. C and Casual to, you know, jump on board, and we all can make something happen. Meet up in the city and make something happen, man.
Man, that'll be a beautiful thing, man. Yeah, all right. For real.
Well, Freeman Walker Jr., man, I appreciate you stopping by, chatting with your boy, man. This is Tez, a mini podcast series called The Beat. Looking forward to talking to everybody else, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the reunions. I'm gonna call it a special because it's special to me, man, and we all get to politic and laugh and joke and kick it, man. You have yourself a good night, sir, and you always take it easy, man. For sure, man. I'm gonna holler at you, man.
You too, man. Good to see you.
That's right, he did it, Mr. T-E-Z. Down with your boy, D-A-V-I-D. Banner, baby. Mr. Mississippi himself. Yeah.